Look at your agenda. We are going to move over to our active transportation plan public hearing. I'm going to call up Elaine Kramer. Elaine Kramer is our consultant from the planning firm Paschik MTR to discuss our active transportation plan. This is a plan that has been in the works for quite some time. This originated from the joint comprehensive plan with Wilkins and Wilkins Township, Churchill, and Monroeville. And this is the public hearing for that. It's a comprehensive document, but Elaine's going to speak about it a little bit more in depth. This is going to be considered for council to approve it at the next month's meeting, at the September meeting. And this is a public hearing. And Elaine, I guess I didn't prep you for this, but since it is a public hearing, I'm going to swear you in. And if there's anyone else that maybe would speak about this item, they could be sworn in as well. And also, if you decide later that you're going to speak, we can swear you in at that point. So if you change your mind during the presentation, we can certainly take care of that. So Elaine, if you could raise your right hand, please. We tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Now, Elaine, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And let me also add my thanks to Mr. Little and Mr. Wielden. Mr. Eastock isn't here, but he also helped. And I'd also like to thank our one active transportation committee member, Alan Eastock, who has attended. I'm here to present to citizens and to the council the final draft. It's a draft of the active transportation plan that we developed. This was funded by the municipality as well as the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County in partnership with the Richard King Mellon Foundation and Allegheny County Health Department. Active transportation is, as you can read here, any way of going from place to place by human power. Wheelchairs, bikes, scooters, walking, jogging. Transit is often included in that because people frequently bike or walk for the last mile of their transit trip. It's important for people who don't own vehicles and important for people who own them but choose not to use them in any given time. Let me find the next. Where's the down arrow? Here it is. A plan, an active transportation plan, you may recall from my visit here back in October. It includes physical routes that are planned according to standards. They're developed and implemented according to national standards. The American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials has a guide. The National Association of City Transportation Officials have a guide. Pennsylvania, PennDOT's Department of Conservation and Natural Resources has a trail design guide. So there's a lot of guidance and standards that we and this plan meet. The plan also includes policies that are adopted by the community and education to support safety, comfort, and convenience. Studies show those three factors are the most important in encouraging people to engage in active transportation, especially in a car-oriented community like Monroeville. It's really important. And so, speaking of Monroeville, why now? As Mayor Griesbach mentioned, part of this arose from the Churchill-Monroeville-Wilkins Comprehensive Plan, which Council adopted in 2018. I think it was 2018. Citizens really sought more means to walk safely and comfortably through the community and to cycle in the community, have easier access to transit. And so we tried to respond to that. And one response was, indeed, to create this active transportation plan to go into more detail. Similarly, PennDOT and Allegheny County Transportation are both putting a lot more emphasis over time on active transportation. They're integrating walking and biking routes, multimodal routes in almost all the planning and work that they do. So it is considered a best practice, and so I give kudos to Monroeville for keeping up with that. It's also a wonderful, wonderful way to satisfy existing residents who want walking routes. You see how popular the Westmoreland Heritage Trail is. You know that people love the walking routes in Community Park. You see people walking on places where they shouldn't as well, though. You know, beating paths along Route 22 because they need to get to the grocery. So people need and want to walk. They want to be able to get to the hospitals, get services, go to stores and shops. So it's a wonderful way to satisfy existing residents, but also to attract younger, new residents, because you probably know, as well as I do, if you have children the age of mine that in their 20s, 30s, they really prefer to not own cars a lot of times. They want to be able to walk and bike and live and enjoy life all from the same place. So they really enjoy active transportation. Hold fitness is a very high priority. So walkability and bikeability is something that younger people are indeed looking for. When we started this active transportation planning process, we did a survey in the community. We put out a questionnaire in the community. We got 460 responses. We asked all kinds of things about why people walk, where they want to go. It helped us develop our plan. But for the purposes of this meeting, I thought I'd just bring this one slide that shows that if conditions were improved, people would be more interested in active transportation. 75% of the respondents said they would walk more if conditions were improved, and 68% said they would bike more if conditions were improved. And by that we mean just a safer, more comfortable route for people. So that was a good impetus for us to continue developing the plan. And here is how we developed the plan. I know you have the summary with you. The document is also certainly available, the full document. I hope you get a chance to look through it. But these are the ways that our Active Transportation Committee of citizens and staff members developed the plan. We did that digital survey. Mr. Little and some others were out on Community Day asking people what they wanted to see happen. We held public meetings. We did key person interviews. Research best practices, did a lot of data mapping, field work. I really, my heart goes out to so many of the residents who were speaking tonight. I've driven and walked through many of the roads they were talking about, and I can, been through the community, and I just can picture some of the places they were speaking about. We had a workshop here that involved people from the Port Authority, PennDOT, Allegheny County Transportation, Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and many cyclists and citizen advocates for both cycling and walking who attended a workshop in this room. We bounced ideas off of them. They told us what they thought would improve the plan. We've incorporated their thinking into this. We being the steering committee down at the bottom right. That's when it went into the plan. These are the topics and the kinds of physical projects we're envisioning. Over time, a network. We'd love to see additional sidewalks, especially closing gaps, where that a sidewalk stops here and starts up there. Intersection improvements, again, to make pedestrian activity a little safer, a lot safer. Transit-related improvements, we have some suggestions working with the Port Authority for specific bus stops that could be improved without a whole lot of money and effort going into it, and it would make transit ridership much easier and more convenient for more people. Bike lanes and shared lanes. Shared lanes are those sharrows, where you have the bike image on the pavement. Bike lanes are actually separated off to the side. Side paths are when there's actually, you have your two travel lanes and then a path off to the side for biking and walking. And then you know what hiking and mountain biking trails are as well. We are suggesting pursuing the vision plan map. An earlier draft has been posted out in the lobby for a long time. I have this one is actually in my car. I didn't want to bring it in the drizzle, but I can bring it in before I go, and you can have it in your lobby so people can look at the newer one. And what's next is, especially for me, to thank you. Thank you for your interest in this. Thank you for selecting our firm to work on this project, and thank you for investing in this project. I think it'll give you a lot of good ideas about how you can further develop these kinds of amenities in your community. As you review it, if you see things that you would like to see clarified, please let me know. I think Mr. Little or Mr. Wielden would be happy to pass those along to me. And let me ask you to please consider adopting this plan in September when it comes up for a vote.
Great. Thank you, Elaine. Council, does anyone have any questions for Elaine? Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on this item? Okay, so we're going to close the public hearing for that. And I would like to, first and foremost, thank Elaine with all of this. She's really done a tremendous job, and her firm, John Burkle as well, done a tremendous job with this plan. And she's definitely, I think, it's safe to say that she is the non-resident that knows our streets and sidewalks the best. She could probably deliver pizzas anywhere in Monroeville. But we really appreciate all your hard work on this
Thank
plan.
you, Mr. Mayor.
It's an excellent plan, and it's something that council's going to consider in September. Once again, as she touched on, these are things that where we make improvements where it makes sense. Nowhere in the plan we always get this comment, that it says that we're going to put bike lanes on Business 22. People think that is not the case. This is just where it makes sense, and to make this community more walking friendly, bike friendly, and transit friendly. And it really adds to the quality of life of our community. So once again, thank you so much. And I also want to thank our steering committee. We do have a representative here, Alan Izok, also Gordon Kahn, and Craig Causa, along with myself, Mr. Little, Mr. Wield, and Mr. Estock. So big thanks to the steering committee and to get this plan off the ground. And council will consider it at our September meeting. So thank you, Elaine.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you, Council.